A year ago, I celebrated my birthday, had a great time, was in the prime of life, was fit and never had any illnesses, was totally happy. Then I woke up 2 days later and had speech problems and paralysis in my face and on the right side of my hand. So it was totally shocking. We then called an ambulance, and it was discovered that I had had 2 small strokes, and we spent a long time examining what was wrong with me. And finally, in November last year, I was diagnosed with Moyamoya.
The Moyamoya disease is a rare disease of the brain vessels. The disease causes a slow occlusion of the carotid artery, which supplies the brain with blood. This occlusion in the area of the terminal part of the carotid artery then leads to a reduced supply of blood to the brain, and this can then lead to strokes in patients. TIAs and strokes are also the most common initial symptoms in Moyamoya patients in Europe.
Wir haben viele Untersuchungen gemacht und wirklich alle Ärzte mussten.
We did a lot of tests, and none of the doctors really knew what I actually had. I was sent from one hospital to the next, and then we had a Doppler scan, and a member of staff heard a seagull cry. And that was the first thing that led to the suspected diagnosis of Moyamoya. I had to wait weeks to see what would happen next. The worst thing was that the doctors told me that I could keep having new strokes. My former employer, I worked for a pediatrician, said we had to do something. And we would ask Mr. Roeder, to whom we actually wrote an email. And he replied immediately.
Hallo.
Hallo, Professor Roeder. Dankeschön. Ebenfalls. Also fast so gut wie vorher, aber ich muss ja noch ein bisschen auf Trinkmenge achten.
The Moyamoya disease is a very rare disease, so many colleagues often don't even recognize it during the initial diagnostics because they have simply never seen the disease before. To confirm the diagnosis of Moyamoya disease, you actually need a lot of experience and special examination modalities. We offer these here in Tübingen. This includes, among other things, a conventional cerebral angiography, that is, a vascular imaging of the brain, and a special MRI. Once the disease has been confirmed, further very specific tests are required to precisely evaluate and quantify the blood flow to the brain. Only with these special tests, one can finally decide whether a patient needs a bypass operation or not.
Today I have my first follow-up examination, and I am really excited about it. I got through the operations well, recovered very well, and was then able to carry on working in my job straight away, which made me very happy. I felt in good hands, and the whole nursing team took great care of me, as did Professor Roeder, who always took care of me. We were always in contact, and I was always allowed to ask if there was anything I needed to know. That was really great.
Even if Moyamoya disease itself cannot be cured, patients can have a normal life thanks to good diagnostics and good therapy.